greats like Henry Toiven and driving these fabulous, fabulous cars. It's just memories of childhood. Not ever thinking for 1 minute that I would own one, or touch one, or even drive one. It's quite a rare car nowadays. Faces you see when you drive past, the faces smile. It is just a brilliant car. The MG Metro 6R4 was probably thought up in the early 80s when Group B was announced, and they realised that rallying sold cars and they had to build a car to compete on the world stage. So the Metro 6R4 was then developed. It was designed by Williams Formula One with Patrick Head in charge of the technical department. So originally they used the Rover V8 engine, and they took the 2 center cylinders out and made a V6, giving it instant horsepower and acceleration, and they produced a 3-litre V6 engine, 4-wheel drive, mid-engined, to compete at world level. To drive, you really have to hold on to it and grab a hold of it by the scruff of the neck to make the most of that car. If not, it will have you in the hedgeback. There's no two ways about it. It's smelly, it's very, very noisy. You've got a big V6 bellowing just behind your head. The guys who drove them in the day, the famous Tony Pons and the Di Llewellyns, they were just unbelievable. They could make those cars dance. What made Group B so appealing to myself and my friends of my similar age in the early 80s is that seeing these cars which basically looked like your mum's car that she would go shopping in, for example the Mini Metro became the MG Metro 6R4. There were silhouettes of a car that mum and dad would drive. Car manufacturers realised that they could sell cars, a lot of cars, if they could rally. There were 4-wheel drive, most of them. They had turbochargers, huge engines in them, and they would sound fantastic with flames leaping out of the exhaust, and that's what people wanted to see. They wanted to see and hear those sorts of cars. The demise of Group B really became in the late 86, 87. The cars were getting faster and faster. The Metros were pushing out probably 400, 450 horsepower. The Audis were probably 500 horsepower. The crowd control really was probably what killed it off, really. People were flocking to events to see these cars. And you would see footage today of cars going through people, pushing the people apart on rally stages. And unfortunately the inevitable happened. A car went off and went into the spectators and killed them. Henry Toivonen went off in Corsica and was killed. And then the governing body really said, that's it, we've got to call it a day, we've got to stop all this, it's getting out of hand. And then Group B was finished, unfortunately. My 6R4 is kind of interesting. We knew the car had gone to Finland in the late 80s, 90s. We knew it had done a bit of competition out there, but really had disappeared. It had gone off the radar. So we thought that it had probably been destroyed, the car. But it hadn't. It had actually been locked away in this gentleman's garage. We brought out very occasionally. We realised that it had been originally built by RED, who were a famous satellite team who built the Di Llewellyn cars, the Didier Auriol cars. It was one of the original 6 cars. It was rallied, and then a guy called Will Gollop bought it in the late 80s, did all the conversion into full rallycross, where Tiffany Dell drove it at the British Grand Prix, and then it went to Finland and had various disguises, became a rally car again, a sprint car, and I bought it and brought it back to the UK. It's one of those things when restoring a car, how far do you restore a car? You want to retain a lot of its patina, but then sometimes, like for example with this Metro, it had 14 layers of paint on it. It was like the rings of a tree. You could see the different colours over the years and where it had been. So we took it down to bare metal and we resprayed it and rebuilt it back to the famous Will Gollop colours. You know, I think we've done the car justice and put it back to how it should be, really. Underneath it, it's all pretty much been space framed out, but the body shell has been fitted kind of over the top to give it the look of the MG Metro. So the roof, the A and B panels are all Metro, but everything else apart from that isn't. All the outer panels are all fiberglass, all the underneath is Kevlar and carbon, and also the doors are all Kevlar. So in the day they were using a lot of fantastic materials which were new onto the market. It was Formula One materials. Kevlar and carbon had never been used before. The problem is the price of these cars have increased tremendously. Running costs have increased tremendously. Whilst other people are getting enjoyment out of it, then I will keep it. And if people can come up to me and ask about the cars and sit in the car, that's great. It's all about that. We take the car to a lot of charities, we raise money for charities, we take auction rides out in the car, and if we're still doing that and people want to see the car, I'll keep it.